What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, turn on post notifications. Give this video a like. I'm back at it with a mullet tutorial today. I know it's been a smooth minute since I put an upload up, but I saw this haircut the other day. Well, I knew I had it Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Not to toot my own horn, but we get to the shop that early on the weekend. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other barbers out there trying to get that bread early, like you work at a bakery, but we were in there and I seen this mullet haircut and I was like, you know what? I have not done this type of video on my channel yet. So I thought that I would throw this video up there, throw this out there for y'all, throw in a little bit of tips of how I accomplished this specific haircut. But shout out to my client for letting me shoot this video and just allowing me to do my thing with this cut. The mullet is a never-ending trend. It's always going to be around. It's been around since I want to say like what, the 70s, 80s time frame. So this is a haircut that is not going away and it's here to stay. So my boy, he's got the mullet. You guys gonna see. But let's get to this video. Let's get to this tutorial. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to all my loyal subscribers who are still rocking with me. I appreciate y'all for real. But let's hop into this tutorial. Let's hop into this tutorial. It's been a minute.
Look, I just flipped the switch.
What's good, YouTube? Like I said, we got a mullet tutorial for y'all today. So you can see here my client's hair is flowing. His hair is going out on the side. So we're going to do a high taper, do a little trim off the top, get his edge up nice and crispy, and have my boy ready for the weekend. But let's hop into this tutorial and let you guys know how I accomplished this haircut. So first off, we're going to take the comb. We're going to start directionalizing the hair, laying it down where it wants to lay, and making sure that we get everything prepped before we actually even pull the clippers out. One of the key things that you need to do as a barber is prep your client's hair before you actually start to fade. Now, once we got the prep work done, what we're going to do is lay our first guideline. It's going to be a balled out line. So we're taking our Babyliss Low Pro FX and we're completely balding out this area right here. I'm making a curved guideline because that's the type of shape I want for this taper. And it is going to be a high taper, so there's going to be no C-cup. All we're going to have is the vertical bar and the front edge up. Now, once I balled out all this area with the trimmer, I am going to go over it with the Stylecraft Prodigy. And we're going to go ahead and knock all this hair out, bald it out nice and smooth, and start on this clipper work. Now, I really am digging this shaver here for the simple fact that it is wireless charging. And when it's got a full charge, this shaver is hitting. I've actually put the Andis Profile shaver down that I usually use, and I've been using the Stylecraft shaver for the majority of my haircuts. It's just been so accessible, so easy to use, very convenient, and it's a workhorse. So I'm really digging that shaver. You can see here I'm wearing these Rebels out. I got the little hook part where you hang the clipper missing because I dropped it. The paint's coming off this faceplate, but these are working phenomenally still. So if you guys were wondering, from the reviews I have done before, the Rebel is here to stay. It is my #1 go-to. This is the best clipper that I have used personally. But you can see here we use a lever open, made a panel of hair to fade out, and we close the lever all the way, and we're just fading that area out. So after the no guard, what we're going to do is go up to our half guard, lever open, and create another panel of hair. And this is going to be a high taper to create the shape of this mullet. So we got the Stylecraft double magnets on the Rebel. We have the lever open. We're creating another panel of hair to fade into. I'm using, on the left side of the blend, I'm using just the first 2-3 corners of the blade. And as I get towards the front of the hairline, I am using the entire blade. You want to make sure you're going against the grain. You can see right behind the ear of my client, his hair kind of starts to swoop back. So you want to make sure that you're taking that blade and going against the grain to ensure that you cut everything evenly, everything properly. And these clippers are great for blending. They're great for debulking. They're great for all around great in general. But you can see here I have that half guard on there, and we're just playing with the lever, doing a little bit of lever play to get that area blended out. After that, I'm going to go ahead and take my 1 guard, lever open, create another small panel of hair to fade into. So my guidelines, my sections are going to be like, I want to say maybe a little less than ½ an inch wide, just to create a nice blend on that side right there. And I am going to get all the way up to a 3 guard, so we are extending this blend from a bald guideline all the way up to the number 3 into the rest of the bulk of the hair at the top. Now once we created our panel of hair, close the lever, fade up a little bit, open the lever slightly, fade up, open the lever slightly, fade up until you have that area completely blended out. Now sometimes you may see areas in that blend that are a little bit darker than normal, and that's when you're going to be doing some lever play. Open and close that lever to the desired length to make sure you get those little dark spots faded out. Now all this blending is all real time. It is not sped up for this side. This is all real time for y'all to see the process. And when we get to the left side of the blend, it will be time lapse. It's going to be the same exact steps, where we got the 1.5 guard, lever open, and we're creating another panel of hair to fade into, eventually get into the bulk of the hair towards the back and on the top. Now usually I do the shear work first, but for this specific haircut I just wanted to knock out the blend first, so I just hopped right into it with the clippers. But right here, combing all the hair forward, we got that number 2 lever open, and we're gonna go ahead and make sure we get this hair evenly blended with the top. You can see me combing the hair and just making sure that I directionalize the hair where it wants to lay, because the last thing you want to do is have the hair sitting where it doesn't want to be, and you either cut too much off or you don't cut enough off and it's not even. So you can see here I'm kind of floating that clipper right up the side of the head when I go up, because I don't want to dig into the bulk. I'm gonna eventually transition the bulk of the hair into the blend on the side with some shear work and some clip over comb. But you can see here that blend is nice and buttery. This is just one side of the haircut. We haven't even got to the edge up. We haven't got to the other side of the head, and it's already looking nice. So comb, brush, whatever you have in your left hand, comb or brush. But whenever you start to fade up, make sure you use that comb or brush to get the hair laid down properly where it needs to go again. So I'm right here, I'm doing clip over comb. I'm kind of just floating that comb right on the side of the ridge of the head. I have my lever open because me personally, I do not like to do clip over comb with the lever closed. I'm too cautious, and I don't want to take too much hair off. So that's what we're doing with the clip over comb technique. Lever open and just making sure we get it nice and even. Now right here on the ridge of the hair, right near where the vertical bar and the front edge up meet, there is a bit of a difficult spot here. I'm using the corner of my blade. I'm playing with the lever. I'm just trying to get this area blended as much as possible. And it is a struggle spot. Sometimes you'll run into clients that have more dense areas than the other rest of their head. And that's just a hard part that you have to navigate. You have to learn a little bit of tips and tricks here and there, see what works for you. But for me personally, I did some more clip over comb, and then I do break out the blending shears just to get that area a little bit thinned out, so it creates more of a blend. You lighten up that darkness right there, and it was a very, very difficult time trying to get that side blended. It was a hassle, but we got it done. This is just goes to show that no matter how many times you may cut a client, no matter how long you've been cutting hair, you may still have a client that comes in and makes the job a little bit more difficult than it usually is. You know, then they're gonna make you earn your money that day. But the purpose of this tutorial is just to help you guys with a little bit of tips and tricks to knock out these things that do arise. You can see here, I'm floating that little comb 90 degrees up right off the ridge of the hair, and I'm using those blending shears to create some lightening in that ridge area. We're not digging too much, we're not taking too much off. We're just lightly detailing, lightly touching up areas that are a little bit darker than the rest of the hair. Well, once we got all this done right here, I'm gonna go ahead and step over to our trimmer. I'm gonna go ahead and edge up around the ear right after we get this blended. Now I got the Babyliss Low Pro FX, and I'm just going in a circular motion right around the ear to edge up this portion. Keep it clean right off the ear. There's a lot of hair in the back, which could give it a messy appearance, but as long as you pay attention to the little details like the edge up work, it'll make this haircut look very well kept, very put together, and very clean. And that's the look we're going for. So once we knock out that edge up around the ear, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shaver, and I'm gonna go against the grain and get it nice and bald around the ear. Some people like to use the razor. I personally like to use a shaver. It just makes life a lot easier for me. Work smarter, not harder. And here we go. We get the Babyliss Low Pro FX, and we're knocking out the mustache edge up. I'm gonna go ahead and create kind of a sharp pointed look to the mustache, and then start cleaning up around the goatee area. And what we do to the left side, what we did to the right side, we're gonna do the same exact thing to the left side. So this is a time lapse of the process on this side, and we're doing the exact same thing. Nothing different. Clip over comb, stacking our guards, and just following the process to make sure that we got symmetry on both sides of the head for this haircut. I gotta tell you guys, the mullet is probably one of my favorite haircuts to do. No matter what people may think, they may think it looks ugly or outdated, but to me, it is a clean cut. It's creative, it's different, and I dig it. But right now we're doing some shear work. So what I just did was I created a guideline right down the center of his head. And after I do that, I'm gonna pull hair to the left side towards me and use that center guideline as my guideline on the left side of the head to cut evenly, cut even sections. And I'm gonna take that guideline I used in the center, pull the hair over to the right side of the head, and do the same thing. So with the guideline traveling from the back to the front, that is gonna be a traveling guideline. Now, right now I'm just cross-checking, cutting off any peaks that you see, like I point out right here. So you wanna make sure that you're cross-checking because you wanna make sure that you have even cuts all around the head. So just like you do detail work with your clippers, just like how you go over work to make sure that everything is smooth and flowing together, you wanna do the same exact thing with your shear work. Make sure you're cross-checking your sections to make sure everything is as even as possible. If you guys are wondering, I am using some $60 shears I got from Sally's, Oster 7-inch shears. The comb I'm using came in a JRL pack that I had got from Fort Worth Barber Supply. Came with like 12 combs, I believe. And I've been using this. It has a sectioning tooth at the end of it, and it has a very fine side of the comb, and then also a more coarse side of the comb with thicker teeth. So from thick to fine teeth on the shears. Now right here, I'm just bridging the top hair to the side hair. And once we do that, we're gonna go ahead and lay down some product. I'm using the I believe it's called, I'm not even gonna try to remember what it's called. I know it's BTZ, you can get it at Sally's, but it is called the Scruncher. It is a hair spritz. It's kind of, it's basically a hairspray. I'm using that to lay the hair down. Make sure we got a good foundation before we do the edge up. And once I do that, I'm gonna take the comb. It's a little bit of heat on some low heat on the blow dryer, and go with the comb and work all the hair forward so it lays down nice and neat. And once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down a little bit more hairspray on the hairline area and throw on some Topic, some hair fibers. This isn't Topic exactly, this is like Topic. It is a Ion, the Sally's brand. Works just as good, but it's a lot cheaper. I'm just trying to help y'all's pockets, but it does the same exact thing. It's a finishing enhancement tool for clients that do desire that. It just helps out as well with pictures, with your portfolio, with the overall look of your advertising. Now once I do that, I was floating the trimmer along the front end of the edge up just to kind of get some flyaways before I started to actually lock in that edge up. Now these Babyliss Low Pro FX, these are my go-to trimmers. I really dig the Gamma Plus X Evos, but these Low Pro FXs, these are the #1 go-to tool for edge ups, for trimmers for me. So what we do to the one side, we do like I said, maintain that symmetry in every haircut you do. But once again, I appreciate everybody for watching this video, for staying locked in, for tuning in. I know it's been a smooth minute since we put up an upload, but I thought I'd come back with some heat, some fire for y'all, something different, and we're just gonna try to continue with this momentum. I got a baby due in 4 weeks. I'm looking forward to that, so I'm probably gonna vlog that, let y'all into my life as a barber. We doing the Vlogmas series before, we did all that. I want to continue on the momentum, continue on with creating. I really have a passion for this career field, and just being able to teach on this platform what I can. So once again, I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate y'all for always showing love, staying locked in, following on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. You guys are the truth. But I appreciate y'all. There's the cut, nice and blurry. But until next time, God bless.